came here like to build the partnership skills and to discuss some issues about Eastern Europe.
I learned a lot about different ways how to self-employ, and we had different good practices from Germany, from Latvia as well.
It's a new century, and it's a century of startups, new ideas, mobility, and young people should choose this way.
This forum has been a really good help because there are many people here who want to do the same thing to improve the situation of young people.
In youth work, we usually want to change society and impact society towards better. Maybe we can think about that in business industry.
It's a wonderful forum. First of all, it is well organized, and I think we all make something valuable from it. I mean, we are still learning, we're not finished, but so far it's a unique experience.
So here we are more than 250 people from more than 30 countries represented, with the main aim to discuss and to find new solutions for employability and employment of young people. We are here representing different sectors, so youth organizations, also business organizations, recruiting agencies, also different ministries from more than 10 countries. So we are really willing to work in cross-sectorial manner to find what we can do together.
In EU, every fifth young person is unemployed. We are talking about around 5 million people who have challenged to find a job in European Union. Talking about Eastern Partnership, in, for example, Georgia, Armenia, we have up to 30% of young people being unemployed. And in Ukraine, Belarus, Moldova, and Azerbaijan, it varies from 12 to 18%, which is still quite high. Our role together with different sectors is to support young people to become more employable.
The program of the first day had the interactive panel discussion, learning spaces and thematic workshops where participants could explore the topic of employment and employability, share the experiences from their realities, to identify good practices and also to find out what are the gaps or what are the challenges existing so far and what we can, where we need to focus on the second day, because the second day is more dedicated to the future. And the program of the second day had several elements, recommendations to the policymakers and also to other stakeholders what to do in order to improve the situation with the employment of young people. Then there was a time when the participants developed ideas to implement in their realities on national, local level, on the international level.
All this should contribute building a better society. Otherwise, we know from history that social injustice, people suffering from different economical problems creates a lot of issues which are connected to lack of solidarity, lack of tolerance, creates all these extreme right-wing ideas, which is an example already in several European Union countries. So we would like to prevent this in order to create more peaceful society in European Union and its neighborhood in the Eastern Partnership region.
Well, maybe there's always this discussion about whether we're having a lost generation, and I find this in a way not fair, and I think it's a very pessimistic view, because it suggests also to the young people themselves that their situation is hopeless. So I think we should somehow rephrase this and maybe rather talk about a generation that's been forgotten by some policymakers, and that we need to offer something, and that we need to offer them opportunities.
The government should stop this vicious circle where when a young person doesn't have an experience, he can't get a job. So it's like no job equals no experience, and the other way, no experience equals no job.
People come from all kinds of countries, and when you say, okay, what should be done, then it's easy to say cooperation, networking, integration, working together, traveling. It doesn't say much. So specific case studies, specific examples, experiences that can be really understood in depth, that could be done in these kind of conferences. However, from other hand, I'm sure everyone who came here will be inspired not only by the light castle we are here, but also by the environment, creativity, a lot of ideas that are around. That is the takeaway.
Different are the dynamics of the transition from school to work of European youth. The transition from school to work is quicker in Nordic countries, Scandinavian countries or Anglophonic countries, whereas it's very articulated and in some sense problematic in South Mediterranean countries. One variable that makes the transition from school to work easier of young people is the acquisition of early labour market experience. This can be formal or informal, but having worked, it helped them, having accumulated the work experience with no doubts help them to enter in the labour market quicker than the others.
Very big problem for the young people is not to getting know how to do the things, but to find out what they actually want to do. And the youth workers plays a really important role to empower this way of thinking of young people to direction, decide what they want. When the young people know what they want, it's very easy to find the way. And then there are very many other institutions and the organizations can support this process. But the youth worker is the very first step to help the young people to start to think, what do actually I want to do in my life?
Erasmus Plus is there to support mobility of young people, to allow young people to go abroad and to see and to have other experiences, either in a youth work or in a voluntary service, because we can learn either working or in a volunteer perspective. We can have ONGs making partnerships amongst themselves, or the big challenge we have now is that we have ONGs in the youth domain also cooperating with youth, with education departments, with vocational training, in order to link more and more the different perspectives. Because one of the challenge we have today is that we can't solve the problem in an isolated manner. We have to have a cooperation between the different sectors of the society.
I think it's not about reducing employment, it's about fostering employability. So we needed more positive thinking about looking on employability as a path that people can find their way in life. And so we need to foster that people know what they want in life. We need to create an environment that they can choose from the possibilities which are available, their paths which makes them fulfilled. And when we create networks and create collaboration between the sectors and give people experiences to get real life experiences in the work, I guess then we are on the way to create much more space to develop entrepreneurship and employability.
What is the conclusion? That we do not have to wait for governmental support. We have to act by ourselves. Of course, it's good to have some support coming from governmental structure, maybe some tax-free periods or some support structure, but in any case the potential, the capacity is inside of young people, and when they have creative idea, yes, they can implement it. And what is also a big benefit, that now we are active also in social communication using different social networks, and it helps also to transfer knowledge from different countries, and this is the big value of such international event like this one.